The big development at this hour, senior U.S. administration official says that President Donald Trump will be meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the G7 summit. Senior U.S. administration official says that Trump would be meeting leaders of India and France and also Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at G7. Trump will also meet with UAE, Qatar and other West Asian leaders. However, Netanyahu will not be there during bilateral talks with West Asian leaders. Now, India has been invited as a partner country by France, which holds the 2026 G7 presidency. This will be India's 13th participation at the G7 summit. Now, the tour of Prime Minister Modi, it will begin in the French city of Nice, where Prime Minister Modi will hold bilateral talks with French President Emmanuel Macron. Defense cooperation, civil nuclear energy, critical technologies, innovation and regional security are all expected to dominate the discussions. Now, a key highlight will be the launch of Bharat Innovates, a flagship event bringing together startups, innovators and venture capital leaders from India, France and beyond. From France, Prime Minister Modi will travel to Slovakia for a landmark visit. This will be the first ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister to the country since the country gained independence in 1993. Now, talks with Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico and President Peter Pellegrini are expected on the lines of trade, investment, renewable energy, mobility, railways and defense manufacturing. For more details, our assistant editor, Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal, has sent us this report from France. Take a look.
A big confirmation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the US President Donald Trump will be holding a meeting here in France next week on the sidelines of the G7 summit. Now, this meeting will be the first such meeting between the two leaders since Prime Minister Modi traveled to France last year in February, and also since the May conflict, where Donald Trump claimed that he diffused the conflict while India dismissed that. Now, the meeting comes in the backdrop of first, the trade conversations between India and the US. Trade teams have been traveling to each other's countries, but there hasn't been any public headway that has been made, even though the US ambassador Sergio Gore looks quite confident. And also killing of the Indian sailors. 3 Indian sailors were killed by the US forces of the coast of Oman, and that has triggered massive anger in India. And India has not only summoned the USCDA twice, but also the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has lodged a strong protest with the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Siddhant Sibal for WION in France.